And we're totally not that. You guys know us. We're gamers. We're not fanboys. We play every game for every bloody system out there. So that's something we definitely were very strict with ourselves on.
So, saying that,
yep.
we're doing something new this year, and we're actually going to give you honorable mentions of games that we either didn't get to clear or didn't get to put in as much time as we would have liked to, or didn't, in my case, probably more, didn't give the chance to play, period. And during the dry months of 2014, I'll be paying attention, as most likely Big Mike will be to his. So without any further ado, here's Big Mike's top 5 honorable mentions.
Alright, so these are games that I wanted to talk about, but were not being my top 5. So number 1 would have to be Dragon's Crown on the PS3. Excellent, excellent, excellent game. Very artistic. That was a little bit of controversy early in the year because there was a big, you know, one of the female characters was over-sexualized, and some people had a problem with that, some didn't.
Both, but 2 out of the 3 actually.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So in my defense, I played as the elf character.
The most covered?
The most covered character. But long story short, it's an actually beautiful artistic game. So if you can get past the controversy and the large breasts on the characters, you'll really, really enjoy it. Another game that I didn't get a chance to play, and there's a good reason for that, because I'm actually getting it as a gift. I haven't had a chance to
play. Yay! Christmas!
Is the Legend of Zelda on the 3DS. I've actually talked in depth with Jason Hooft, our friend there from 3KB, and he absolutely loves it, so he told me all about it, and now I'm just dying to play it. But, you know, I'm going to keep my promise and wait till it gets presented to me on Christmas Day. And another game I did get a chance to play, which actually Terrence got to play, was the new Splinter Cell.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I really, really wanted to play it, but it just came out at a bad time and didn't get a chance to. Oh well, I'm a little upset that I didn't get to play that one yet, but I will for sure. And actually, another game that I played and finished and really, really enjoyed, but it didn't quite make my top 5, was BioShock Infinite. And one of the reasons for that is, I know some people complain, well, the play control was all, you know, very BioShock-ish or first-person shooters, which it is. But for me, it was the chances they took with the subject matter. And I always love when studios kind of, you know, like, yeah, take a chance and maybe do something that's a little uncomfortable. And for BioShock, it was racism. And they're flat out, you know, with it. And it's right there. And even when there's an incident near the beginning where you have to make a choice, when these people are kind of brought up on stage, I don't want to give any spoilers, but you feel almost uncomfortable, or you're kind of like, ooh, should they really be doing this in the game? And after all, you're like, yes, fucking thank you for taking a chance and doing something like this, and really just, you know, and there's a lot of people, you saw like some of the early reviews and people talking about BioShock Infinite, some people were horrifically upset over the subject matter, where I, you know, now actually really appreciate that studios and writers are taking a chance with something that maybe, you know, they're not so comfortable with. And my last game, which is going to be a bit of a shocker, I talked about it in our video with the whole PS4 and Xbox One, because it's a game that didn't actually get that good of reviews, but I really, really enjoyed, was Rise, Son of Rome. I know it's just a basic hack and slash, but I played it with a giant smile on my face and enjoyed every minute of it. And for me, like, just some of the best voice acting I've ever heard in a game. And I love the organic look, and there's one thing Crytek does well, it's really push hardware early on. You know, they're the makers of the Crysis games and whatnot, so they, you know, maybe not the best gameplay in the world, but definitely very visually appealing. And I was actually, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I was actually taking pictures of all these wicked scenes and posting them on there. Total nerd, yeah, posting scenes from Rise on there. But that's it. Like, I actually, you know, I know it didn't get good reviews, but you know what, again, like, as we said before, we don't give a fuck about reviewers, to tell you the truth.
The most important thing is Big Mike enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he spent $60 in the game and he felt like he didn't waste it.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like I got my money's worth out of it.
Big Mike wins. Big Mike wins.
Alright, Terrence. All yours, brother.
Alright, shut the fuck up. So, now it's time for my honorable mentions. And I did get to play a lot more than I did in the previous year, so it's really grateful for. I gotta give a well-deserved shout out right now,
yes,
to our sponsor. ANC Games. It's a video game store in Toronto. It's a damn fucking good store. I'm swearing, whatever, it's our channel, deal with it. No, these guys have been very cool to us.
Yes.
And And like a special thank you, ANC Games, because you provided me with the vast majority, and Big Bite too, whenever you can get into Raccoon City, of review copies for the games that we're talking about. So they made it very easy for me to play a lot of things I never would have like given a chance, just because, you know, like, who really rents anymore? And you know, like plopping down $60 on a game when it's brand new, when you don't know if you're really gonna want to play it.
For sure.
They've actually they breathed a lot of life into my current gaming, and because I was really turning into a retro gamer exclusively, so this has been a great year for playing a lot of fucking new games. So thank you, ANC Games, for providing us with review copies for the majority of what we're talking about today. So here are my honorable mentions. Now this is a fucked year because I'm swearing, it's Friday night, it's what I'm going through, we're just before Christmas, and I gotta get it all in my system now. Got anything?
We may have been drinking heavily.
May. No, you know, because I would just be a mess. So yeah, I got to play a lot more games, and you know, some really good experiences, some really disappointing experiences, and I find the energy of our show is we like to avoid shit talking stuff.
Yes.
So if you ever hear us not talk about a game, there's a couple of reasons we don't talk about it. We didn't get a chance to play it. It wasn't on our radar, which we're going to talk about one of those games, or we didn't like it.
Right.
And I'm not going to insult the people that make these games. Mike and I have talked extensively with people in the industry, and not just PR people, like actual developers and creative directors that just pour their lives into this. So I'm done with shit talking.
American McGee actually made a great point. You guys know American McGee, who made one of my favorite series of all time, the Alice games. He was actually commenting on that, about how much shit talking there is when people are complaining about certain games, and how the responses to the developers who sometimes complain, like, hey, why is everyone fucking shit talking? And the general response is, hey, just sit there and take it, you know, suck it up, you should be able to. And American McGee said a great line. He says, what other industry or any other job in the world where that's acceptable, where you have to sit there and just take it? Like, just
okay, kind of movies are like that, but it's pretty much anything that's entertainment. You know, that's really. So whatever, and I find with Chargeback Forward, we like to focus more on positivity than negativity. So so fuck that noise, and here are my honorable mentions. Right off the bat, Tearaway. Now this is a game that came out for the Vita, and I think it's really unfortunate that it came out around the launches of the next generation consoles. So this game has the potential to be overlooked, and I haven't had much of a chance to play it, I'm not going to lie to you. But from what I've seen of it, I want to play it. Like, this could be the Vita game that kind of, you know, I don't know what the timing, but this could be the Vita game.
Yeah, and then the Vita needs it for sure. It needs like a cool original title like that.
The Vita has a lot of good games, but it yet has the one great game. Like I'm playing Uncharted, Stop Touching Me, and as good as that game is, and it was a launch game, but it's kind of like, you know what, man, this isn't the game that's a system seller. You know, it's more like an Uncharted 1 than Uncharted 2, and a lot of gimmicky controls with it, but whatever, terrible. Next game, Gone Home. Fuck, I wanted to play this game. It's sitting on my computer. So this is probably going to be like a January game for me. It's a first-person game that's not a shooter, and it's not the game that you expect it to be. And that's all I ever wanted to hear. And it has surfaced on a lot of people's top 5 or top 10. So I definitely want to give that some attention. Oh god, well, the usual suspects. Devil May Cry. I've heard so much great shit about it. Great music in it. Looks great whenever I've seen it. I just haven't got a chance to play it. Sorry. Tomb Raider, the new one. Big Mike loved that fucking game, but I couldn't get around to playing it. And I was gonna try to rush in December, and then I found out with the VGX Awards that there's the next gen version coming out, and I won't call it next gen until the current gens kind of go away. So I'll be playing that in January. Bioshock Infinite is another one, and Mike's touched on the racism. I want to touch on a different part of the game. It's got a lot of flack for the level of violence in it, and the thing of violence is it's cartoony and sensationalized, like fictionally sensationalized in media, in most movies, especially in video games. And a problem that I saw with it, that would be an issue, is they went for I don't want to say more realistic take on violence, but much more visceral, much more unapologetic, and it was I don't know, and I want to spend more time with it, but it left a different taste in my mouth than normal violence does in games. And considering the whole thing with people can differentiate between fake violence and real violence, you know, like kids that play video games are not inherently violent. I have a bit of an issue when things get a little too unapologetically real.
Right.
I'm not saying that it is, and you know, this is a come back to me next year when I've played it in its entirety, because obviously you played it more than me.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna play it. Like, I've heard great things about it. You've said it's worth playing, so I'm gonna play it. Just whatever, right? That's all that's coming to mind. There's obviously, you know, Kunin, or where the fuck the name is.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, that's a good one. But I have it. It's still sitting there sealed on my shelf. I haven't had a chance to pop that one in yet.
You know, it was a great year for games.
Yes, you know, that's probably the whole basis of this. We always go through like what year always had the best games, and there's been several. Like, you know, like there's the Usual Suspects 1998, and I think 2008 was a big year if I remember correctly. For me, it's always gonna be 1991. Was huge. But yeah, this year when you look back at it, holy crap! This year I have a ton of great games.
It was a great year to be a gamer, and a great year no matter what system you own.
Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah.
So that's it for my honorable mentions. I wish I could have played. Of course, the movie to see this year. Make sure I get this is the it's the Happy Console Gamer movie. This movie's the shit. Problem is, it was such a limited DVD run that you probably won't be able to buy this with all the extra features, but I love how we're still plugging this, probably because we are the best part of the movie.
That's true. That's true.
But this is available for free on YouTube, so check that out.
Yeah.
Great movie. Don't take the fact that it hasn't been opened yet. I actually watched Big Mike's copy while I was waiting for mine to come.
That's right, I get first.
So, without further ado, here is Big Mike's
All right.
Top 5.